Welcome to another episode of the Wrestling Retrospective Podcast. I'm your host, Earnest. EJ Christian. We're doing another watch along. And once again, another watch along with our guy, my teammate from Take Wrestling, Big Jim, James Nies, teammate from Huddle Up
Oh, let's
Podcast.
say Huddle Up because
How many fucking things
you
we
are a
teammate?
Take Three part-timer, so we can't say that.
Why are you doing that?
What
Why are
happened?
you doing that? Why are you doing that? No.
I'm not sure about.
Anyway, this is SummerSlam season, of course. We're recording on the 2nd of August, actually. So SummerSlam is a couple days away. So last week we did a SummerSlam 88 watch along with our good friends DJ and Rob from the Minus Wrestling Podcast. That was fun. And I figured, what we do another anniversary show. So this one is the 25-year anniversary of SummerSlam 98. And people assume we're going to do Austin against Taker. No. We're going to do something a little different here. We're going to do The Rock and Triple H, actually, from that same show. To me, I think that match had more impact legacy-wise with both these men when you look at it in hindsight. Austin and Taker obviously didn't do their thing, but those guys were at that point were made men. Austin was the champion.
Right. Yeah.
You know, Taker is Taker, of course. The Rock and Triple H at this point is still coming up. They're still on the way up.
Yeah. I mean, this was only 2 years, less than 2 years after The Rock even debuted. So
correct. Yeah, exactly. And the Hunter was on the way back as well too. So yeah. So a couple of notes here. Of course, the show, like last week's show, and the show 10 years ago, 10 years prior rather, took place August 30th, 1998 at Madison Square Garden in New York City, New York. I'll ask you like I asked the guys last week. Have you ever been to MSG?
I never have. No, there's been a few events I've thought about attending there, but I've just never made the trip up.
You gotta do it, man. You gotta do it.
Yeah, I've heard it's it's a historic venue for sure, and I mean there keeps being talks about them possibly looking at building a new MSG or a new venue in downtown. So I guess especially if they announce that's going to happen, because if you're going to do that, I mean it's going to take years to clear and build that thing. So that'll really put a timeline on me to get up there and see something.
Well, they've done a lot of construction in that place too. They've redone that.
They've renovated it just recently again, big time. I know. So
right. So the attendance of the show, of course, sold out at 21,588 attendees. The buy rate was 700,000, and the tagline for this event is "Highway to Hell." Of course, that's discussing the main event of Taker and Stone Cold Steve Austin. The theme song of the show, of course, AC/DC's "Highway to Hell." I actually love the build up to that whole thing. The build up to the SummerSlam was actually really, really good. I would say at this point, 10 years in, the best SummerSlam build at this one in the company for this event.
Yeah, I mean, without like going back and really digging into it, I mean, you're in the heat of the the Monday Night Wars, the Battle of WCW. Yes. You're firing on all cylinders. So, like, this is, and if discussion about eras aside, and which one's better, and all of those discussions that the wrestling fans love to get lost in the discourse on. This is the prime right here. This is the pocket of the Attitude Era when things were really starting to fire. And yeah, I mean, when you're talking WWE's second biggest show, is and especially now looking at it, I think always will be SummerSlam, and that's how the WWE views it. So
of course,
yeah, this is it.
Yeah. So again, guys, timestamp, of course, Peacock. It's actually season 11, episode 1 for Peacock. But it's SummerSlam 1998.
But whatever.
Yeah. If you need to pause real quick, the timestamp right now, where we're going to start here is 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 43 seconds. So if you need to pause the podcast real quick before you get started, you do so now. Otherwise, we're ready to go. We're going to go ahead and have some commentary, have some fun on this one. It's The Rock and Triple H from New York City, Madison Square Garden, 1998. SummerSlam 98 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and away we go. And I love that door. I love that door.
So, dude, like I was just about to say that, like I always loved the
stage,
the side ramp at MSG.
Yes.
So like obviously all the early shows, this one, WrestleMania 10. I always loved that little side entrance at the short
Mhm.
the short aisle. I know when they went back for WrestleMania 20, they utilized the end and they had the
Correct.
bigger stage in that. But man,
Correct.
I always dug it, and even now, of course, they use the end stage. But I'd love to see them go back and do a vintage style setup.
What's
Like,
weird though is that with the ramp where they have it when this is on the ring, it makes MSG feel smaller, but it's a really big venue though. Again,
yeah,
21,000 people at its event. You
yeah, because
know.
when you get those end stages, you lose some seating capacity. Because I think, like Monday Night Raws and stuff now, when they go to MSG, only get about like 18,000 or something like that. So you do lose a
Mhm.
lot of people. Dude, I forgot how much these DX entrances were. It looks like an epileptic's nightmare. You know
Right?
what I mean? Like, it's just like, what the fuck is going on? Also, did I just see Jim Johnston? Jim Johnston is playing guitar.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's on the left side of the fucking ring. If they go back to the wide shot,
Well, if I get epilepsy, I'm trying to find out. Yeah, maybe I
yeah,
can
like
find
I'm
out.
fairly certain. Which, I mean, it makes sense. He wrote the
Of
song.
course. He look. I love
Yeah,
what
he
is
was
CF
standing right behind
CFO.
China right now.
I
That's Jim
appreciate
Johnson.
I appreciate CFO. I appreciate who's the new ones that do the music now for WWE.
I forget, but yeah.
Jim Johnson's to go.
Yeah, there he fucking is, man. He's playing guitar. He's standing right next to China. Or I guess he's playing bass. That's bass, it
Yeah,
looks like.
yeah. No, that is guitar. That is guitar.
Okay.
He's riffing.
Dude, look at that. I never really, I mean, not that I would have known that it's at 13 when I was watching this.
Right.
I love this Triple H gear, by the way. I think he had a figure, the shiny purple pants.
Yeah.
I think he had a figure back then with those that I'm fairly
So
I probably still own.
I've expressed this in the past on countless podcasts I've appeared on. Um, Not a fan of this incarnation of DX. Not a fan. I've always loved Sean, Hunter, and China. Boom. Once Sean was gone, didn't care.
I mean, they were obviously very different. And then like when Sean came back later, and it was him and Hunter doing it. All version, I think all versions had their strengths. Um, it's hard to say the original three had their weaknesses.
Yeah.
But I do like that they didn't, because it wasn't Triple H and China's fault that Sean got hurt and had to go away. So like I was glad that they didn't abandon that stable. Did it need the New Age Outlaws? Did it need, I would have needed another person, like whether, X-Pac was the one or the New Age Outlaws, or if they would have had added somebody else. But I'm glad they didn't just scrap it, because it's, again, especially at that time, I think WWE needed DX.
No, of course. And they were at this point they were hot. One of the hottest acts
Yeah.
in the company.
Yeah, and I
So
mean, you
you
think
gotta keep
about,
going.
when the famous night where they drove the tank onto WCW, like that was this incarnation of it.
Oh
So,
yeah, this is doing China and Mark Henry doing a little thing. When Mark Henry had a little crush on
oh,
China.
that's
He's
right.
he's like
That's
giving
right.
he's like giving a tongue and stuff. Like, look at this.
That's right. That's a big man, man.
Yes, he was. Sexual
He's
chocolate.
he's a big man.
Yeah. The Rock was like a star here. Like what I first off, one of the biggest what ifs in the history of company is this. What if Sean doesn't get hurt at Rumble 98 and Sean is still healthy? Because Sean was clearly, if not the number one guy, number two guy in the company at this
Well,
point.
I mean, on take 3, we kind of dove into that
Yeah.
somewhat recently when we were talking about what if Brett didn't leave WWE for WCW. Because if Brett doesn't leave, he may hold the title until WrestleMania that year. You don't get that casket match. You don't get the Michaels injury.
We still. I think we go. I still be Austin the champion. But I think the biggest transition here for the company is who's number two guy, because I don't know. And maybe The Rock does get there at some point, but does it happen at this point, late in '98? as the number 2 guy.
I think
Because
it still could have been The Rock. I don't think Triple H is in these spots at this
right,
point.
that too.
Because I think he's still just kind of playing Shawn Michaels lackey a bit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, in terms of if Shawn doesn't get hurt, it's, I mean, I know it's morbid to say, but Shawn Michaels may not be with us anymore. Like,
Yeah, it's very true.
seriously, he was in a bad way, going the wrong direction, and you know, it sounds weird to say that, you know, a 5 or 6 year, you know, thought retirement and time
Yeah.
away from his career, but that injury probably saved his life if
Yeah.
we're really being
Absolutely.
serious about it.
Absolutely. And we don't obviously get the second incarnation of Shawn. Look, I've always said that I prefer my favorite Shawn Michaels, era is 96 or 98, but we get the moments. Shawn's biggest moments are 2002 and beyond.
Yeah, because every match felt important. Every moment felt, the big moments were even bigger because, when you have a guy who's been injured like that, you never know when his last match is going to be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a wild thought of what could have been. I mean, let's even pretend like he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
And let's hope that he finds a way to get clean. But like, yeah, it's his bump card may be too full by the time you get to
Yeah.
2002, 2003. And you're not going to get those classic moments.
It's a really good match already off the gate. Definitely
Yeah,
best
I
of the
mean,
night.
obviously the big rivalry of that era was The Rock and Stone Cold, but I don't necessarily want to say The Rock's best dance partner was Triple H, but man, those two guys, and I like, we want to talk about like matches in the current era that we kind of maybe missed out on here and there, but like I remember there was, I think it was a Monday Night Raw or something that The Rock, they were in Brooklyn and Rusev was in the ring
Mm-hmm.
and The Rock made like a surprise appearance, and then like they had Triple H and The Rock in the back, and they kind of like teased that, oh, maybe we'll do one more WrestleMania match. That would have been a freaking blast.
Mm.
They could have got him to do that and actually gotten that match one more time. I would have loved to see that. But yeah, these guys always work great together.
This is weird seeing Hunter as a baby face.
Yeah, and it's also weird, and like from an aesthetic standpoint,
Mhm.
like seeing just like a yellow ladder that you could buy at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Like now we've gotten so used to having, first off, the fact that there's only one ladder
Yeah.
is wild because now we're used to having so many, but like now they're either painted black or painted silver. Like, the little details in the WWE. Also, I love the little SummerSlam logo. Like when they show that side shot looking up, you see
In
the
the Raptors?
SummerSlam logo way up in the rafters.
Yeah, I like it too.
Those little treatments. I also like the lighting behind the gates, the Hell's Gates on the
That's
stage.
that's what I'm saying. That part is awesome.
Yeah,
It
like,
fit the theme to a T.
yeah, like I always loved that. I always loved that camera shot. You could look straight back down the aisle. Um, oh man, I got a commercial in mind. Because I got the free Peacock. I got a commercial right now for Mattress Firm.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just keep going. I'll try and catch up because it's like 30
Yeah.
seconds. So I'll just fast forward.
Okay. Um, it's weird. If I tell you Rock top 5 feuds history of his career, Hunter's easily top 5, right? Easily
Without question. I think he
top
might
3.
Hunter might be in the top 2.
Okay, so
If
Austin,
I'm
obviously
being,
Austin number 1. Austin number 1 easily.
so you're at about at the point Rock's dragging the ladder back in the ring.
Right now I'm at the point where they're outside fighting still. The ladder's still outside the ring. I am at 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 37 seconds.
All right.
And counting. And now Hunter got thrown to the ladder.
All right, cool.
and got clotheslined.
I'm pretty much right there now. I'm caught back
Okay, that's
up.
fine.
I just had to fast forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of rivalries, I mean, I think Austin's number 1. But if you,
I mean,
him
they
and
did headline.
Triple H
They
were
did
so good
headline
together.
WrestleMania 16. Yeah,
Him and Triple H were so good together.
they really were.
He'd
And they
probably be
and
number 2.
and they had a real heat for a while too. Also, for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, and that's what kind of made like the moment at WrestleMania 31 when Ronda Rousey made her like first WWE
Hmm.
appearance.
Yeah,
Um, made that kind of special because The Rock was part of it, and then like I said, that then Raw in Brooklyn. Um, yeah, so I would say top 3. I would say top 3 for sure without digging into the research.
I wouldn't put this on like as a top one of the top ladder matches of all time, but this is definitely the most underrated ladder match.
Yeah, and it's just, it's kind of one of those things where like when you talk about um like these all-time lists,
Hmm.
right? Like it's so hard because like a ladder match like this today would seem like boring, right? Like,
Of course.
a ladder's fallen on a guy like one time and we're 10 minutes into the match. So like like yeah, then like this was solid. Like now it's just we're so used to ladder matches just being, not that there's not any thought or story being told, but like it's just there's so much different now. But
Hmm.
it's, yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, it's been really good. Again, two all-time greats, and look, I don't care how anybody can feel about Triple H and politicking and golden shovels and all of that stuff, but um he's one of the best inside those ropes when the bell rings, ever. Like he
It's
really is.
funny, and to see his transition from like Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and
Oh
then
yeah,
goes to DX, and then being the leader of DX to the game, and then beyond. It's crazy.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, because
crazy.
I mean, even when he like first went into DX, like he still had the Hunter Hearst Helmsley attire, like with the
Yes.
like look like the horse rider deal, and
Hmm.
like and then it slowly changed to this, and then he went to just trunks, and yeah, like the whole evolution of him. Um, although it's funny now, like when he cut his hair, like when he first cut his hair, when he was part-time wrestler, full-time employee,
Yeah.
like it was so weird. I'm like, oh, I'll never get used to that. Now I see Triple H, these old matches and stuff when he has hair, and it's like now that doesn't look right because we're so used to him, now a decade plus later, of him having short hair.
Yeah. It's still weird to seeing short hair with him.
And it's
I
wild
know,
to
but
see The Rock, like, me obviously in great shape back then, but like to where he's at now, like
you could argue in better shape now than he was then.
he's
I
I think
guess. I guess
I think
look
now
wise.
he's almost too big. Like
Yeah.
and that's another reason when people want to talk about him coming back to wrestle, I'm like, I don't think you understand, man. He's too big to wrestle. And I know that sounds funny, but
Yeah.
like a man of his age is not, nobody at any age is supposed to be that size, but and with the amount of muscle that he has, but especially at his age, like I think it would be a setup for disaster. I really do.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Your point is definitely well taken on that one. Here's a chair.
There's a chair. Oh, and even like again, going back to those aesthetics that like you would not see today, a tan chair.
Oh, she's right. Yeah.
You wouldn't see
Correct.
you don't see a tan steel chair now.
So different. Even 25 years ago was different.
Yeah,
I talk about like Hulkamania era being old, and obviously it is old. But I never thought Attitude era been old. Now it's old.
it is. Yeah, I mean that's crazy. I mean, like, just the way like the crowd was lit. Like, I mean, it's now it's everything's colored lighting and or dark lighting or whatever, and this is just the crowd's just bright, like they're
Hmm.
just like brightly lit up.
How did you feel about China back then? You think China had the training they have now? She could have been a top women's
Holy
wrestler.
crap! I mean, you like if they valued women's wrestling like they do now, dude.
She had the look.
I
She had
think
the
there's
look, obviously.
potential for her to be in a different stratosphere. Like really, I mean, you look at like what Rhea Ripley is right
Hmm.
now. Um, you know, now did China have the confidence and charisma on the microphone that Rhea does? That might have been about the only thing that would have held her back at
Yeah.
this point. Obviously, she developed into that. Once she was more as an active competitor, but yeah, I mean, if they would have valued women's wrestling then like they do now, um, yeah, I think she's even viewed infinitely higher than she is now.
Even Mark Henry looks different. Mark Henry looks the same, but looks different. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
older, but good lord, what a time! Were you watching this? Were you watching this era like in real time?
Yeah, I don't I it's hard to remember how many pay-per-views that I would have gotten back then cuz 98, so
I was 18, so you were probably
I would have been
13.
going into
I think you're 13, right?
yeah, I would have been going into my 7th grade year.
Hmm.
No, 8th grade. I would have been going into 8th grade, getting ready to go start 8th grade. Because I would have been 98, 99, and then my
Right.
brother graduated in 2000. I was a freshman in high school. So yeah, I would have been going into 8th grade. Now he had some friends, so I probably would have watched this show because he had a buddy that was a huge couple of friends that were huge wrestling fans,
Hmm.
and one of them would usually host like some of the bigger pay-per-views. So we'd usually go over there and watch them.
So around this time, this summer was when pretty much started to, because I was between 96 and 98. I was pretty much WCW and WWE was on par.
Mhm.
Maybe WCW a little more because of Hogan and WWE, all that. But by this time, I had started watching WWE more than WCW.
Okay.
Because remember, this is when the Wolfpack became a thing, and I already told you guys on record I was not a fan of the Wolfpack, the splintering of the NWO. I hated that angle. And then
It got convoluted. It got watered down.
yeah,
Sure.
and at this point, the WWE
Triple H
at
was the
this point,
master of that slow fall.
yeah.
That
Oh,
that
he
that
is. He
that
is.
that delayed and that yeah, like
Yeah.
and that's a Ric Flair move.
He gets it. He
That's
gets
a
it.
Ric Flair move.
Hmm.
And Triple H really like obviously in Evolution they talked about how, Triple H kind of it sounds funny, took Ric Flair under his wing at that point,
Hmm.
but like to kind of re-give Flair the confidence back. But like yeah, that's a Ric Flair move on him. But yeah, I was always WWF more than WCW.
Right.
Um, like I would flip over to it, but
Yeah.
it would I would definitely be watching more Raw than Nitro.
And not only that, WWE was at this point giving you something different and fresh. This is
Yes.
fresh. After it was fresh. And not only that, even though Hunter was a babyface, there were blurred lines at this point now.
Oh
Austin
yeah.
is the head of the company. He's the face, but come on now.
Well, yeah.
He's
I
really
mean, like, and that's what I find amusing now is when people want to talk about Rhea Ripley being a baby
oh, that
face.
bump.
Yeah, that's a nasty bump.
Oh God, my back hurts
People
watching
talk
that.
about
Go
like
ahead.
Judgment Day or Rhea Ripley being a baby face or yeah, like
Commercial.
yeah. Oh, you have a commercial?
No.
Oh yeah, I
You have
do
commercial? Yeah,
actually.
you do. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's a 60-second commercial. I'll pick it. I'll make sure I get back on. But like, yeah, when people want to talk about like Ripley or so and so being a baby face, so and so being a heel, like the things that Rhea does in the Judgment Day do, they're doing heel things. So
Yeah.
like, but like, yeah, the crowd's cheering them, but like they're still doing heel things. So I get it. Like it's just there is so much of that shades of gray. Like there's very few clear cut heels, very few clear cut baby faces. And yeah, DX, they were doing heel things. Austin was doing heel things. They were getting cheered for it. Anybody that was doing any sort of like I'm a good person gimmick, they were getting booed, right? Like so
Yeah.
and like that was really kind of that perfect storm with Austin and Bret Hart because like Bret Hart never really changed what he was doing that much. It's just people booed him like they were tired of that character and um and people were wanting to cheer Austin. What timestamp are you at right now?
I am currently trying to just punch Mark Henry in the face, so I'm at 157.10.
Okay.
This is the era of the anti-hero, man.
Cool. I'm back. Rock's just he's touching the belt. And I think
Touching
that's
belt, yeah.
the first belt touch.
Woo! Yeah, it is. First one and outside the ring.
And we're how many minutes into this match?
As
quite a few, right? Because it was
36.
We're 20 minutes into when we hit
started
play.
it. Right.
From when this match segment started.
Longer than I thought.
Our first belt touch, right? Like
longer than I thought.
That's crazy. Nowadays, I feel like you're getting like the bell rings and a guy's running up the ladder. And I'm not saying one era is better than the other. It's just that it's showing how different the two eras are.
By the way, The Rock is a very underrated seller.
Yeah, they're hit a point towards like the later part in his active career where he kind of got the oversellies.
Yeah.
Where it almost became like comical a bit.
Yeah.
But in this era, yeah, he was really good. Really, really good.
Especially with Austin. You oversold Austin like crazy.
Oh, a little color there.
You got blood.
You got a little blood. Yeah, I think there needs to be a mix, man. I think there needs to be a mix. Like now there's like WWE tries to not do it and AEW does it at just like I'm almost more surprised when AEW has a match that doesn't have blood.
Right. Exactly. Right.
So there needs to be that mix.
So I picked this match because I personally identify this is the match I believe that told Vince, yeah, Rock's the guy. He's the guy.
Yeah, I mean,
because then next thing you know, after this match, he turns face. At some point, next week or two, he gets baby face for 2 months.
Because this was kind of in that spot where like was Farouk still nation domination at this point?
No,
that had already happened. Okay,
they still existed, but they were on his last legs.
Okay. By the way, I hated this version of the Intercontinental title.
Me too. I hated it also. Yeah, I did also hate it.
Ugly. The only one uglier than it is the current one. The one Gunther has. I'm not a fan. Man. It's awkward looking. I tried to like it. I really did. I tried to be like, nah, it's cool. No, it sucks. I can admit it sucks.
I don't mind the tag belts though. Oh, by the way, the Rock's DDTs are very underrated also.
Real good I was just thinking that. Real good DDT. Real good.
No, I feel like even the old ones weren't all that great, but it's better than the stuff they've had in the last 20-something years.
Now, what you were saying, do you like the current tag belt?
No, I don't. Oh, no, okay. Tag belts I do like. Tag belts I do like, yes.
Oh, no, I don't like
I don't mind the pennies. I don't mind that.
Nah. Now, I will say this. The silver plates on the red and blue straps look better than the copper plates on the black strap, but I've never liked the current design.
To be fair, though, there aren't really a lot of belts I do like, honestly. In the history of the company, I could probably count on my hand how many belts I actually do like. I like the Winged Eagle belt.
Okay, so like the early 90s, all of them were perfect. The Winged Eagle, the Intercontinental, and the tag belts.
Right.
Like those were perfect. Back like in the 90s, all three of those were perfect.
Every IC belt after the one they originally did sucks. I don't think I like any of them. That's
well, yeah. Well, because I mean, but you think about it, there hasn't been that many different designs because
I think 3, right?
You had this design, and then Cody brought back the original style.
Oh like God, nice bump.
That's great bump.
Oh, another bump.
The 90s era, like they brought that back until just recently when they have to replace the one that Gunther has. So like there hasn't been a lot of different Intercontinental titles, but yeah, I only like the really the classic.
Quite frankly, the only WWE titles I do like is the Winged Eagle and then the current WWE titles. That's it. The Cena spinner. That obviously.
Oh, the spinner belt was stupid. I like the big round eagle that like Austin got before the smoking skull.
That's all right.
I liked the original undisputed title.
What Lesnar had?
That was the second version of it with a slightly
That was
bigger.
okay. Actually, that was okay. Actually, I
I
didn't mind
liked that one. But yeah, the spinner belt sucked. I like the current, like the one Roman has with like the new logo. I didn't think that belt looked great with the scratch logo, like when The Rock unveiled it, because the scratch logo wasn't like very symmetrical enough to make that title work.
Right.
I like Rollins's belt, the world heavyweight title.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. But like I said, there are a lot of belts I do like.
The funny thing is, I think the women's versions of the current titles with the white straps look better than the men's.
You think so?
I think Rhea's is the best looking title the WWE has today. The white strap with the new world heavyweight title, I think is the best belt they have.
People's double time.
He's facing the wrong direction. You got to face hard cam. What is he doing? I'm sure Vince ripped him for that.
He's bleeding.
Sure, Vince ripped him for that. Always got to look at hard cam. It's wild, like doing when I do like
come on, pal.
When I work at indie shows now, you can tell the guys that have worked shows where cameras are, because when the first thing they do is they find hard cam when they come out.
Let's just say that him not looking at hard cam did not hurt his push.
No, he I think he'll be okay. I think we'll look in the future, crystal ball, but I think he'll be all right.
He'll be world champion in about 2 months.
This is kind of a weird SummerSlam logo though, like that, like the big block like SS side to side. It's kind of a different.
How many years they did that one? Because this is the first year they went away from the original logo.
Yeah, because it was a couple, I believe. I don't think they stuck with this version very long.
Because I know, like from '88 to '97, when they used the regular like
I love that
which I love, of course.
Yeah, they did a couple years like this. Then I think they went to that like the thinner S, like they were like stacked. The S and S were stacked up on each other. Like 2002. I think that might have been even the first year they used that one.
Where would the SummerSlam rank for you, personally, all time? A card.
I'd have to pull up the whole card, because I don't know if it's just because like this was the era of a lot more pay-per-views, but like I don't know that like I specifically remember like a lot of these pay-per-views from around that time.
To me, this is the match that stands out more. This is the match that stands out more than anything else, even more than Austin Taker.
Yeah, this match has been fantastic for sure.
Like remember Taker Austin as the main event, but I feel like historically speaking, people talk about this match more than Austin Taker.
Yeah, I mean, like looking over this card now, I do remember the Lions Den match was great.
Yeah, Shamrock against Severn, right?
Yeah, Shamrock, Owen Hart.
Owen Hart, right? Sorry about that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I
pedigree,
mean,
pedigree.
This match, like, very good, great pedigree. But I mean, the rest of the card, I mean, fucking D'Lo versus Val Venus, the Oddities versus Kai and Tai. Like, I mean,
Kai and Tai.
Come on, like, I mean, the whole card itself, I don't think is anybody's really writing home about. But yeah, this match, the main event, the Lions Den match, like it was definitely heavier on the back end for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, I still think 2002 is the greatest SummerSlam all time card, like from bell to bell.
Yeah, that one's real good. Best, yeah. Is it my favorite? I don't know. I still think SummerSlam 90 might be my favorite.
I think favorite. I think it is 02 also, but I will say the early ones for me because of my childhood and what they mean to me personally. Like obviously 88's great, 89 is stand out to me also. I don't like in hindsight. Well, not in hindsight. I mean that I hate the booking of 89 because in the jewels.
Oh,
in the jewels.
Got him.
The people's
Right.
jewels. The people's jewels can't do that.
Right, and the ding ding.
No little rocks.
No more little rocks. I'm kind of bummed that they canceled Young Rock, by the way.
They did cancel it?
Yeah, it got the X.
It went 2 seasons, right?
No, there's 3.
Oh, 3? Okay.
We did a third, yeah.
I still need to watch that, man, honestly.
Yeah, it's good. It was really good, but
too much content to watch, my friend. Too much content to watch.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Nobody knows where Hard Cam is. What are y'all doing?
Well, he can't see. The other guy's bleeding.
Look, man, there's no excuses.
Who would have thought that guy right now on the ladder and 25 years later would be head of creative?
Unreal. Unfreaking real.
There's X-Sac and company.
Married to the boss's daughter and running the show.
Billy Gunn, who just retired allegedly recently. There's a Road Dogg.
I guess there's some speculation that that's storyline based, but
I'm with you on that. I'm not convinced that's real.
We'll see. I mean, is any retirement in wrestling ever really real?
Please, no.
I mean, Triple H's probably is. Let's be honest about that.
Yeah, well, we know that. I mean, Ric Flair, come on, Ric Flair's busted that curtain down.
I saw Conrad share because I think it was today. It was a year since that Ric Flair's last match, and I'm like, man, what a fucking shit show that whole thing was. Yeah. Embarrassing, really.
Is Stridex still in business? I see a Stridex Raptor.
I know. There's no way. There's no way.
Let me Google that. Make sure. Oh, this King and Jim Ross Jr.
They are still in business.
Are they really?
Yeah, you can still get Stridex acne pads. It's an American acne tree. Yeah, you can still get them.
Yeah, so
I almost want to buy them just because.
So there's actually home video footage here. Hold on. You see Rock now walking back to the locker room.
Oh, I'm on a commercial. I'm seeing a trailer for Oppenheimer.
I never seen this before, actually. Let me see.
Yeah, dude, look at that. Wait, there we are. Stridex.
Oh my god. Yo, what up, dog?
I kind of want to just buy these just because I watched this pay-per-view.
So there's Bruce Pritchard
only $4.49 for a pack of 55 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
This is actually interesting. Looking backstage now, see The Rock walking backstage, and you see like Bruce Pritchard. You see Jazz, I think. Interesting. So The Rock. So for The Rock's and get out of there.
I'm shocked that they put this on back then.
Mm-hmm.
Because you didn't really see this kind of stuff.
No, I think this is added to the Coliseum video.
Oh, yeah, they say home video footage, but
right.
Yeah, that's. I'm actually genuinely shocked that they put this on, because this was before I just saw Harvey Whippleman and Brooklyn Brawler.
All right, so that's the match right there. The Rock will turn babyface literally, I think, a week or two later after this match. And then of course we get the Swerve at Survivor Series that year. We got the title. To me, the start of my favorite Rock run in history of the company. I mean, 98 and 99. To me, Rock, this him flushing out the gimmick into heel corporate Rock. That's my favorite Rock of all time. Well, no. Actually, I take it back. Second favorite one. I still like Hollywood Rock more.
I was gonna say Hollywood Rock, man. Hollywood Rock was perfection.
Short lived though. Yeah. But the only things I didn't get to experience Hollywood Rock because that's when I stopped watching.
Oh, that's true.
That's a hindsight thing for me though. But all right, any final thoughts on that match? And 25 years later of that match. I mean, again, not the main event. It could have been the main event. I wouldn't have had a problem with it because honestly, that match was better than Taker's awesome match. I keep saying it over and over.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations that you don't have to be the main event to be the best match on the card.
Correct.
And without watching the main event, that match is hard to beat, man. You have two of the best to ever do it. Doing it in a ladder match, Madison Square Garden and SummerSlam. It was fun. It was definitely a fun watch. Um, you know, and you were this was the beginning of these meteoric climbs of both Triple H and The Rock. But yeah, like sometimes the guy losing ends up being the biggest winner later on, and then as the next months and years told us, the Rock was that guy.
Yep, it reminds me of I always reference that whenever I see that happening when a loser ends up being propelled. It reminds me of Randy Savage losing the Steamboat in WrestleMania 3.
Mhm.
Yes, Steamboat won the match, but Savage that propelled him to the world title a year later.
Savage won the war.
Yeah. Also, it helped that Steamboat freaking decided that he wanted to take time off because they had a kid. I get that, but hurt his run. But
yeah, sure did.
Yeah, great. Like I said, great match. I wouldn't put it on top 3 ladder match all time, but it's definitely an underrated ladder match.
Yeah, it's real good.
Obviously, HBK and Razor twice.
By the way, I'm just watching Undertaker's entrance, and it's pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
Of course, I mean this is Taker transitioning from babyface to heel to months later to all that Darkness. Stuff. Yeah. So that was good, man. At Big Jim Sports on Twitter, of course, or on X, rather. X.
It's fucking Twitter. Don't ever call it X.
Plug away one of block, man.
No, I mean, just go to at Big Jim Sports on whatever the hell you want to call that app anymore. Hit the link tree on there. You'll get to 3CT. Are you dropping this tonight, by the way? Like
I'm dropping it tomorrow morning.
Okay. So we have our big SummerSlam preview spectacular coming up on 3CT this week on 3CT Live. So make sure you're subscribed to all of our social media channels so you see it or catch it on the podcast side. But we have our question of the week this week was your favorite SummerSlam main event. We have a 3CT Jeopardy, SummerSlam Jeopardy that I put together that we'll do live on the air, and then of course
nice.
Show.
I love those.
We then we have obviously the Tuesday podcast. Give a little spoiler alert early. We're not going to be live next week because Ryan and I are going to be away, but we're going to be we're going to put out we're going to record next week's episode early. So we're still going to have content hitting the feed next week, but it'll be fully recorded. And then Huddle Up podcast. We got 2 more off-season episodes dropping. One dropping next week. Another dropping 3 weeks from today. And then at the end of this month, because Jesus, we're in August. We're back up on the live shows. We're back. So I'm
getting excited about that, man.
Business is about to pick up there, and I'll hit discussions with a nobody when I can. So yeah, just hit the link tree of Big Jim Sports. That's gonna be the easiest thing because I got everything linked on that.
Oh yeah, I agree, man. It's great stuff. I look forward to football this year, especially. Of course, I'm on Twitter at X, whatever you want to call it, Egypt7.
It's Twitter.
Threads.
I mean, I'm at Big Jim Sports on Threads too.
Yeah,
I think I've threaded one time.
Yeah, follow my link tree also. I need to put my link tree also.
I need to put my threads on my link tree. I guess I should.
There you go. Anyway, so thank you for doing this again. Once again, we're reliving 25 years later. Triple H, The Rock, ladder match, 98 SummerSlam, a classic. Good job as always, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm.